got everything out, and I just want to go over the frame, the head, and the tail with you guys. As I said in my last review with the HK600, is you want to go through every single screw that goes into aluminum and Loctite them, and I'm going to show you why right now. Here's the frame screws. I mean, you can see how loose they are. I'm like, that's how loose the frame screws are. I mean, pretty much they're almost, well, that one's pretty tight, but there's no Loctite on them at all. So I mean, seriously, before you even start putting anything together, go through every single screw that goes into metal and Loctite it. This is the head. That's pretty loose. I mean, turn it with 2 fingers. I mean, basically just make sure you go through and you just Loctite everything. I mean, even if it's tight, take it out anyways and Loctite it, because there's no Loctite at all on this stuff. I mean, you've seen the frame screws, the head screws. This is the tail. I mean, that's how loose everything is. I mean, literally. I mean, a lot of people get these helicopters and stuff, and they build them, you know, new people, and they don't Loctite nothing. They don't go through any of this stuff or anything, and they just slap it together and they fly it, and then when parts and everything come off on it, they don't understand why, and they blame it on the helicopter. I mean, I've seen a lot of complaints and everything about the 600 HK600, and you know, with parts and everything coming off, and I've had no problems at all with mine. I've been flying the crap out of my HK600, and I've been beating on it pretty good too. I'm about to go 8 cells on it, but I really don't see anything wrong with, you know, any of this on here. I mean, everything's put together good. I mean, look at that, the head button. I mean, it's just spinning. It's loose. It's a smaller Allen. You know, I mean, you can see it just spinning. You know, that, I mean, everything. Just go through everything. The feathering shaft, you know, all the metal arms and everything. Just go through everything and just Loctite it all. You know, it ain't even worth the chance and just hurrying up and putting the helicopter together just because you want to fly it. I mean, I know you do, but you'll save yourself money in the long run by just Loctiting everything. You know, that's like my biggest issue with any helicopter. Even the line helicopters. I have a T-Rex 600 Nitro limited edition, and I went through every single thing on that helicopter and just took it all back apart and re-Loctited it. You don't have to take every single screw off. Just take like 1 screw at a time off, Loctite it, put it back in, and just, you know, just 1 screw at a time. And another thing for the manual, it doesn't come with the manual, but this is the exact same thing as the T-Rex 600 ESP. So go to Google and just type in T-Rex 600 manual, and the first link to pop up will be HeliPros. And once you click on the link, the manual will start downloading. So don't click on it. Right click on the mouse and save it, so that way you have it on your desktop. So that way, I mean, you can print it out. That's usually what I do. I print my manuals and stuff out. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, everything's the same. All parts are exchangeable. You know, nothing's different whatsoever other than the color of the head and the tail boom. Everything's pretty nice. Everything's free, smooth. Nothing's jammed up or anything. Nothing's stripped. I checked all the screws and everything in it already. You know, some of them. all the shafts are straight. Even my torque tube. Torque tube's even straight. I do want to say though, with the torque tube, I've seen a lot of, you know, a few posts about guys getting the torque tube and them being bent. I mean, it's not really a big deal if you get a, I mean, yeah, it is a big deal, you know, if the torque tube is bent, but what you want to do, well, what you want to do is you want to take the torque tube and you want to roll it on a flat piece of glass and look at it up underneath the bottom to see where the gap is, and try and get the bend on the top. And what you want to do is you want to take it and barely, you know, with your left hand pull up a little bit, but try and hold it down in the center with your right hand, just a tiny bit. Don't force it too much, and you could get the bend out of the torque tube. I've done it with my Align torque tubes, so it's not really that big of an issue, but it is because it shouldn't come bent. But other than that, I'm going to start my build, and once I get everything together, I'll do another review on how everything went together. And like I said, you know, before you even start building it, putting anything together on it whatsoever, just make sure you go through all of the frame screws, all of the tail screws, and all of the head screws and Loctite. I mean, if you don't, it's definitely going to come apart, and then you're going to be mad and you're going to blame it on the helicopter. You know, I mean, at least if everything's Loctite and something does happen, you know, it's actually the helicopter that had something wrong with it, you know. So, but I'll start my, start getting this built and everything, and I will start another video in a little bit.